Entitled parent wants to clear a kid's park to do a photo shoot. This has happened this morning. I took my son to a farm park. And after you've been through all the animals, there's a play area with a climbing frame, slide, swings, etc. It's pretty busy today. About 30 or so kids playing on the frame and slide. Enter entitled parent. With a baby less than 6 months old. She's got her arms full of fancy scarves, artificial flowers, and a proper camera. EP keeps trying to put her baby at the bottom of the slide, and is getting more and more annoyed that kids keep coming down it. So she approaches us parents. Stood off to the side doing small talk. Doesn't even ask. Just states, I need all your kids to stop playing for a bit so I can get these photos on the slide. Obviously gets told no. It's a play area, not a photo shoot. So EP storms away from us. And instead starts shouting at kids who come to the top of the slide. Actually calls my son rude and inconsiderate for asking if he can come down the slide please. She takes one of her scarves and starts trying to tie it across the slide to stop kids coming down. She's getting angrier and angrier. And eventually shouts, get your fucking kids out the way, this is my photo shoot. One of the other parents went to find the park manager. Me and one of the dads try to calmly talk to EP. Explain our kids are playing and it's not fair to try and stop them for her. There's plenty of other beautiful spots in the farm park where she can go for photos. Eventually the manager shows up. Tells this woman that she's creating a health and safety hazard and asks her to leave the farm. Completely. We could hear her shouting and swearing all the way to the car park. She's suing for discrimination. Apparently. What a fun morning. Probably one of those mummy influencers that are often seen in the wild lately. Good thing there was a manager there to sort this out. Always carry scissors to cut said scarves in case of trip hazard. And carry a water spray to spray them and affirm no bad EP no. Train your EPs or this is the outcome. Poor baby. That's a tough life ahead. I'm not sure discrimination against idiots is actually an offense. If it is, I'm in big trouble. Yes ma'am. We discriminate against people who do stupid shit that endanger kids. Now GTFO. She can try to sue. But she is going to need a lawyer. And if any lawyer does look into her case, they will easily say she has no case. She was kicked out because she was being a major annoyance. Not because she was discriminated against. Ah, I love the gentle sounds of a wild Karen on a sunny day. Yuck. Suing for discrimination. Sorry, entitled asshat is not a protected class. She tied a scarf across the slide to keep kids from sliding down. Hands up if you didn't lol at this because that wouldn't haven't even stopped me. And I'm not a child. Tears of joy skull. Manager should have said something to the effect of, I didn't realize you had reserved the park for a private photo shoot. Let me check my records for proof that you paid our fee. And if you paid, I'll clear the park. Otherwise, you can pay me now. In cash. Great outcome. I hope she remembered to bring her prop baby with her when she left. But Pais Lingenliehi pronounced Rachel needs her photos. These personal brand influencers are all toxic and narcissistic. Slow clap for the manager. Gosh, if it's that important to her, she should just go at 5 a.m. Not only is she suing, she'll have the park manager's job and shut the playground down and close the park and it's all in the attitude. I'm guessing if she came over and nicely asked parents if she could please get like 2 minutes to take a couple of cute pics at the bottom of the slide, 99 of parents would say sure. But any time you walk in like you're the most important person there, People are going to naturally bristle back. Some people don't seem to realize that only a few types of discrimination have legal implications. Entitled parents are not a protected group. Neither are parents of any kind when it comes to slide use in a playground. Show me the deed to the fucking farm, Karen, or piss off. Made me think of one of those farms themed around Peter Rabbit. The image of her being dragged away by Mr. Todd and Lily Bobtail. I don't know how it is in the UK, but in America, CNTS are not a protected class. Lol, I would have loved to see this on video. OMG, she has a lot to learn. She didn't even have to ask to see the manager. If you can afford to pick a fight, you can afford to lose. I wonder if a public defender would take a job like this. EP needs to come early in morning to do the photos. Call child services because that kid is going to grow up completely screwed. Minute that Bish called my child rude and inconsiderate is the minute she find herself facing a mama bear. No one talks to my kids like that. Just to piss her off even more. Before the manager came over, I would have hauled my fat ass up the slide, held up my camera and yelled, "Move your dang baby. You're ruining my selfie," and went down the slide a few times. Yeah, no, until I ended up with the perfect shot. Twat is not a protected class. You all handled that so well. Not sure I would have been as nice if someone yelled at my kid like that. If you want a photo shoot, rent out the space, you twat. Who would do this? Sometimes I feel like a bad person, but today Reddit made me feel like a good person. Tears of joy. What a twat. Point 9. Why not just ask to rent the space for an hour? If you're lucky, they might not even charge you. That way you don't have to worry about people in the shot and you can take the time you need. Another entitled Karen. Glad you guys got the last laugh. I feel sorry for her child. Park your kid in front of the slide at McDonald's. You know that baby is going to beauty pageants in a few years, and that makes me so sad to think about. Poor kid. Discrimination. Rolling on the floor laughing. How was she discriminated against? Was she a white blonde lady in a fairly new SUV? Was her name Karen? From reading this thread, I've realized carrying a water spray is probably the most useful advice ever. The judge will laugh her entitled dumbass out of court. Lol, your kids are not God. Entitled parents are the norm now and I hate it. JFC, what a cow, pun intended. Kinda ironic cause I was fully expecting her to ask for the manager eventually. Just to piss her off even more. Before the manager came over, I would have hauled my fat ass up that slide and went down it a few times. I would had got up on the slide and be like all kids to the slide ad course, going down first. I'm honestly surprised she didn't go and find the manager first with how Karen-wise she was acting. How dare you in the park attack her creative photoshot. It would have been funnier to wait till the last minute to ruin the picture. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. She'd probably scream at the kids kicking her child's head or try to assault one of them. If she chooses the latter, those moms would jump her. Entitled people make so angry. Not sure I'll be able to tolerate this sub. I haven't seen a photo shoot happen, but I've been at a park with my kids. Watched another family pull in and unload the kids. Take a few pictures and then scream at the kids to get back in the car. There's a park that I go with friends to play Pokemon Go during community days. It's always packed on these days with tons of people all ages playing Pokemon Go. In the middle is a beautiful fountain that a lot of the players sit around to cool off and play. There are always people trying to take photos for either birthdays or quinceañeras, ordering people off. It's crazy. And not just the fountain, some of the benches they tell people to get off as well. This fills me with rage. They always threaten to sue. This is hilarious. What in the world? To be fair, that was probably the most quality time she was going to spend with that child all day. Once they got home, the kid was probably plopped in front of a screen so she could do her social media. Even if she does try, her claim would get thrown out. In the off chance it goes through, a nice countersuit for emotional damages and court fees sounds like fun. This sounds like every mom in Utah right now. Yeah, no. My patience would have run out the second she became aggressive towards children that aren't even hers. She sounds unstable. I would use the definition of rude and disrespectful. Oh, that poor child. She can't sue for discrimination. If anything, the park could sue her. But more than likely she was just mouthing off. I'd like to see a video of that one rolling on the floor laughing. Every damn time I think we can't get any lower as a species. I read a story like this one. There is a simple solution for her. She needs to contact the owners or the management of the place and ask them if it is possible to book the playground for her photo shoot. Then she would have the place to her and her kid alone. The downside is she needs to do some work as planning this, and probably she needs to pay something to get the place to herself. If that same mom had brought a cooler full of Capri Suns and some healthy snacks like cutie oranges, grapes, and other things, likely could have bribed the other kids into letting her take photos. Because if as a little kid, I was asked to play somewhere else for 10 minutes and I get a Capri Sun and some grapes and play somewhere else for 10 minutes. Her first child. After a few more, she probably won't even have more than a couple pictures of the younger ones. I didn't know that discrimination against rude and obnoxious people was a thing. And this lady is a parent. Ugh. You couldn't pause using the slide and switch to swings or something for the maybe 2 minutes it would take to snap some photos? Who is really the entitled one in this story? Did you get a video? Instakarma. Oof, flushed. Wow. Just wow. Narcissism runs rampant these days, for sure. There are still Karens out there. Tread carefully. Karens also have a new friend. The snowflake generation. SMH. I'm glad my kids are grown. Just go early in the morning when they open, or wait till they are closing and fewer kids are there. Face exhaling face with rolling eyes.